Welcome to the book of Shoftim, chapter 2. Now, even though we are in the book of Shoftim and we completed the book of Yehoshua, this chapter is still a lingering part of the book of Yehoshua. Yehoshua in this chapter is still alive. It's kind of a flashback, and it's some of Yehoshua's last words. So the Bnei Yisrael gathered to a place in the Gilgal, and Malach Hashem, it doesn't say who it is, an angel, a emissary, someone sent by God, comes and gathers all of Bnei Yisrael, and he speaks to them and he says, the war is now over. You divided, you conquered, you took the land, but you did not listen to me. I told you, do not leave any of the Avodah Zarah in the land of Israel. Don't leave any pockets of Canaanites that are still there. Don't make a covenant with any of them. And you guys did not listen. And this is something that will continue to haunt you, because you are going, for two reasons. You are going to worship the Avodah Zarah that is remaining in the land, and you are going to be influenced by the Canaanite neighbors that remain. And so Bnei Yisrael start sobbing and crying, hence the name Bochim. It's a place that they cry. And then it says that Yehoshua sends everyone off to their place. Obviously, this implies that Yehoshua is still around. Yehoshua sends everyone home, and again, like we saw in the book of Yehoshua, Yehoshua dies at the ripe age of 110 in his home in Har Cheres. And then the next generation is a generation that did not see the miracles of God. It's a generation that was born in Israel and took everything for granted. And so you have now the introduction of the ultimate cycle of the book of Shoftim, which is the Jews forget Hashem, they sin, Hashem saves us, and once again, once things settle down, we get comfortable and begin sinning again. And that is the cycle of the book of Shoftim. It is a cycle of forgetting Hashem, of being persecuted by the nations either living around Israel or some of the groups that we left alive inside Israel, and having then a judge, a shofet, who is saving us militarily from these persecuting nations. And once again, we go into the same vicious cycle of being saved, relaxing, returning to Avodah Zarah. And the Navi says that in a way this was the fact that the nations were left inside Israel is in a way in the service of Hashem, because that way when the Jews would not listen to Hashem, those nations would come and punish them. And so that is Perek Bet. Again, you have the gathering to the Gilgal, to a place that's then named Bochim, where the Jewish people are reprimanded for not listening to Hashem, not conquering the land completely, not uprooting all Avodah Zarah from there. The Jews being told that this will haunt them in two ways. They're going to follow Avodah Zarah, and they're going to be persecuted by the nations, by the Canaanites that they left. And you also have the new generation, the death of Yehoshua, and the introduction of a new generation that does not know Hashem, does not listen, and that brings us to the cycle of disobeying Hashem, then being persecuted by one of the neighboring nations or one of the nations that is still living inside Canaan, Israel, and then having a shofet, a judge, who rescues the Jewish people from their persecutors. Everyone's happy for a few years, and then once again you have the same cycle. We will get into the stories in detail. Make sure you are with us next parak, chapter 3. Very interesting story.